Hello and welcome back to another episode of Exploring Creativity with me, Esther, your host. This is Exploring Creativity is a little show. No, it's not a show. It's something I'm doing to take some time to look at where pieces of art have taken me and what kind of creative impulses, ideas, decision making go into the process of creativity, because it's such impossible to grasp at, interesting to put words into kind of place. And I hope you're enjoying this. And well, this is episode 13, so you might have seen a few others. Anyway, today I'm going to be looking at, I'm going to turn the screen around, and sometimes it goes blank. If it goes blank for you, just fast forward you a little bit if you happen to be watching this on a later episode. So I'm going to show you, today we're going to be looking at drawings I've done of the nude, the model. And I have a number of drawings to show you, a little selection that a selection I chose. And I guess I'll just talk while showing you them, because it's more than one. And I normally work abstractly, as you can see behind me. Lots of abstraction, lots of little bits and pieces. But today, I'm going to flip you around, flip me around, flip everyone around. We're flipping. Woo! We flipped and we're back. So I don't know how well you can see this, that's the thing. We'll find out afterward. I hope you can see it all right. Anyway, thanks for joining all you out there. I don't know who's there. It's a mystery, but love you for it. Okay, so here's the nude. The nude. This is, here, we'll have a little bit of close-ups. Drawings of people. And why would someone draw from the nude? Obviously, it's very provocative because the person is nude, and we have a huge taboo on nudity. We do not want nudity. We want to cover everybody up. And some people pay lots of money to be covered up in those beautiful, beautiful clothes. But also some people pay lots of money to see the nude. Here we go. There are many good reasons to work from the nude. And I'm going to tell you, when you first see a naked person, obviously there's a bit of a charge. The person is naked. But when you actually have to try to capture it and make it into lines and spaces and movements and gravity of sitting and what kind of negative space is between there, and and it's a drawing, so what kind of expressionist carving away are you doing? And if we bring this out, it creates a more what kind of forms and movements. We have the foot going in, we have the elbows coming off, so you get movement going across, and then we're going to hold her in place. Actually, we could just talk about one drawing, but I'm not going to. Now, that's really hard to capture when you're looking at a person, and you want to try to do that. Again, it's like capturing steam. Look, it's on a very light paper. So these are just, which does not stop the importance of it. But look at, she's going to float away. Okay, we're going to go over to the other side. We've got another one here. When you're looking at the human form, okay, you see an ankle and you wanna try, although it gets, it's a challenge. It's a challenge to make shapes. It's a challenge to make it turn. And there's no idea, if you're drawing, let's see, there's a couple cups over there. You're gonna make straight lines, and you're gonna make a roundish top. Okay, we know about cylinders. Maybe it'll be wonky. Maybe something else will happen. Hey, that's for my dad, that candle. Maybe, you never know what's going to happen. We got a still life. You want to make a pepper grinder. And there's white, and there's blue, and there's beige. It's kind of, what you're working with. You can add elements of yellow and blue. But when you've got a human body, what is that form where the chin is hiding behind the shoulder? How do we get the shoulder to turn? So what you're doing, let's give you some newspaper. What you're doing is trying to figure out a shape, a form. Here, let's go the right way around. Here we had this guy. We had a bunch of male models. We really had the male models. This might get censored. You want to get those forms and those shapes and the weights. And there's no given. Like, you don't know. It's such a strange... Oh, I have to watch out there. But it's just such a strange... you've really got to see it. And it's the seeing. If I were a dictator, a dictatrice, or a dictatress... like politically speaking, not like paid in that way, I would make people have to draw from the model, because you have to learn to see. And when you're learning to see something, it just makes life better. When you really stop and try to figure out what it is you're looking at. And I'm sure it's the same with sound. I mean, we're always talking about really listening to each other. Look at that. And you have to where there's not even really an arm there, but there's the idea of an arm. And like how you get it to look like it's turning, and how you get things to be in front and behind. You have to really look at it, and then you also have to try to make the connection in your brain to get that to happen. So it's a challenge, but it's a good challenge because you're, all challenges are good probably, because you're trying to figure out, look at that. Can you see that? Look at, because also, this is another element besides learning how to see, which you can take to other places. It's not just learning how to see because, I'd like to learn how to see, but we're making drawings too. So we've got a very, I probably used the side of a graphite lead shape thing, and then you make lines into it. Make some lines into the spine, get her spine there. And then we've got, because this would be the same model, taking different poses, but then I'm using different materials, like carving in with an eraser, and then coming over here with these lines. She must have taken a baton behind her, a pole, and we've got to like twist it up. I like Egon Schiele, obviously. Not obviously because any of my work is like his, I wish it was, but because he's so flipping good. If any of you who don't know Egon Schiele, check him out. EGON SCHIELE. Oh, he's so beautiful. And I think he died at 32 during the Spanish plague. Anyway, we could probably go a little bit quicker. I'm just going to show you things. So anyway, the drawing happens over the page. And this woman, I have to say, it all works and the head's a little wonky. But that's okay, that's going to happen. And it probably doesn't look like her. But it doesn't matter. Like, don't get hung up on it. Sign up for a drawing class. Sign up to pose as a model. That's always interesting, to be on both sides. It's a way of also, like, when you're working like this, it becomes like a dance. Actually, there's drawings I'm going to get to. Some of this paper is thin, so the things come through. Let's go up closer. And we've got, look at that. We've got her body coming up. Here we go. Little bit. We'll have her like this model in all these spaces. And the thing is, yes, I work abstractly. And, you might think you're sitting there, well, not, if it was, look how abstract that is. Look at that abstraction. Speak about abstract. Our bodies, our forms, try to get any skin color. It doesn't matter which ethnicity you're drawing. I grew up with something called skin color in the Crayola box, and it was peachy colored. We've got purpley colors, let alone if you're like Latino or black or something. But you're not even black. You're like some kind of chocolate or umber or whatever. Some beautiful different colors. So you've got, here, this is a drawing. And this is where you're like dancing on the paper, because this is beautiful. The person organizing the model, she likes to do 1-minute poses. So you go up and down, and you know how this movement happens. So these were probably like just 1 minute, thereabouts, movement. So this is where you get to crossover. Here's my interconnectedness, because it's dance, it's choreography. There's some, this would have been a longer pose, obviously. But it's almost like if you have a Brancusi. Brancusi does that weight of the grass, copper, wood. Here we've got another. Here, what do we have to say? Do you need me to say things? You can see what's going on. Wait. And look at, I don't know which way, I mean, I think I signed this. Oh yeah, there, I signed it. So it hangs this way. But you know what? It could almost be that way. Or do you rip it in half? Does it even matter? And like if you erase certain parts, it's just a bunch of abstract forms and shapes. Kind of like I showed you a few weeks ago, some of my stuffed sculptures that don't exist anymore. Oh, here we are, definitely horizontally. We've got a skinny man again. That's when you can do an Egon Schiele. Nice skinny man. And he's doing that crucifix pose again. Just like the lady did. But it becomes like a dance across the paper. Look at. Dance, music, rhythm, drawing, weight. Here we have one single woman. Whew! How many of you can relate to that? Huh? The whole little skinny thing pulling her across. The muscle, the weight, the gravity. What's happening with her hand? That's a hand. Look at that. That's a hand. When you see it up here, it kind of qualifies as a hand. But when you come down, it gets a little bit, let's abstract a bit. Abstract. Let's move up. So we get watery sometimes. Whoosh! She flies up. Whoosh! She comes down. Okay? It's about finding balance and weight and gravity and, what's holding them up. And yeah, sometimes you look at it and you're like, wait a minute, this works, this doesn't work. Doesn't matter, we're going to do a lot more. Ooh, calligraphic. Here we go. More dance. More lines. Totally abstract. Me who likes to work with all my different lines over and over. I once had this idea, like Roy Lichtenstein, who I actually had the pleasure of meeting once, was, here we go, abstract, another Brancusi. But not really. Because he does comic, like, it looked like comics, pop art, very famous pop artist if you don't know him. What's his name? Roy Lichtenstein, polka dots even. And that he would be very famous, he's the Andy Warhol-y type person. And I just imagine that in some room he had all these very realistic little sketches. And I guess I was living out my own fantasy because I have a whole bunch of these little, these aren't real life, but it's, from the model, so it qualifies. And yet, if you look on my website, well, I actually put a few of these up so I could share them, but it's about, oh, look at the pretty little bits here. What's happening? Just goes. Ooh. Let's turn. Just little scribbles, just so that when you're doing your abstract work, I'm going to speak for me, because I need it. I mean, you have to be, and the French word is exigeant, but it's demanding. You have to be really demanding. Look at that. They're all going to stay in their space. Look, I want you to see this. Woo! I'm falling off my high horse here. Off my step. I want you to see that. It's like space on top of it all. I mean, you read the metaphor or not. The simplicity. There's so much to see when you're trying to get the model. Like, what is that? If you saw that, you would never think that was a woman's torso. And yet, there she is. So, again, I love that little, what's abstraction, what's not. Let's see, we've only got a couple more here that I would have randomly chosen from the wad, a big pile. So I like that like shadowy forms, lines. Again, the metaphor of the human. Our experiences. I mean, you can read as deeply or lightly. It's also just a line drawing, and what are we going to do on a Wednesday morning? But look at that. The struggle, the growth. I love playing with that kind of stuff, these ideas. Okay, I think this is the last one. Again. So any of you who have not done some drawing from a live model, sign up. Apparently they're doing them online too. You can have, in fact, I know someone who poses online, and I could probably, I don't know, give you that kind of information. Or I'm sure you can find it yourself. Do it. Find out about the model. I'm going to come back around to me. Haha, hello. I don't know how long it's been, how much time we've spent together. I'm so happy that you have turned up, decided to come over and on this Saturday, whether you're in Great Britain or in the US, on the East Coast, West Coast, waking up in LA, perhaps, and decide to come and figure out, give some time to reflect about what exploring creativity means to you, telling you what it means to me. And I believe I'll be having a guest soon, but that's beside the point. Well, not beside the point. I'm looking forward to interviewing other people. Anyway, you take it easy. We're wrapping up. Enjoy, whatever it is you're doing, because you're doing it. Lots of love to you. Stay healthy. And I look forward to seeing you next week on Exploring Creativity, now that we've gotten through number 13. Ciao, ciao. Have a good one. Bye.